most people who, can start up a podcast are generally stupid and don't have opinions that are worth listening to. Especially I have seen some podcasts where I'm like, why would you even say that? Like, why would you go on a public platform, any platform? Why would you even think of that, for one? For second, to actually then say it out loud and then think that you're preaching to people is crazy to me. I'm gonna get your bank account straight first, and then you can tell people about what they can and cannot do with their money, and who and what they can spend it on.
Okay, but I think that's part of it though, like, because you can make money off a podcast now. You think it would be this
you're
popular?
Profiting. Well, no, of course not. It's the same. It's the Donald Trump effect. You're profiting off of a group of fucking morons. You know what I'm saying?
Ironically, I do know what you're saying.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, so yeah, we can all play this game. You can do it in any field. You can surround yourself by a bunch of dumbass yes men all you want,
But,
and you can take their money too. Fuck it, I guess.
But I think it's.
So you're poisoning society. Is what you're
doing. Yeah, you definitely. But don't you think it's almost censoring though? If you had to have almost a requirement to do podcasts, or maybe it should be a label like these are just my opinions. Nothing is fact based.
No, that is necessary. Just the same way as whenever medicine comes out, it's always like AstraZeneca. This will help you, help with your stroke. Blah, 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 blah. And then
but side effects may include
stupidity. Explosive diarrhea, death, and you're okay, like, you know what I'm saying?
So it should be a warning label on podcast.
Yes, especially because you have to understand a lot of these podcasts are circulating on platforms like Instagram, like TikTok, which have the younger population on it. And if you have a younger population who is easily influenced, the least we can do, the very least we can do, is give them the heads up.
But we've never done that in America, though.
No.
We've never done that.
We haven't in terms of media.
I mean, we have parental advisory.
No, because if they did that, the United States would have to put that on our news channels. You understand what I'm saying?
They used to have it on news channels.
But they really? Because ever since I've grown up, I've never once everything I saw in the news, I assumed was fact.
So in like I want to say the late 80s, early 90s, they came out with the parental advisory.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of like the warning on not just hip hop, but rock music, anything that was explicit or deemed explicit. So it was kind of a warning there, but prior to that, I don't really, because even think about it with sex. America's never done it. Shied away from it. No, just be abstinent and say, okay, well, really, people ain't gonna be abstinent at a certain point. They're gonna want to get something. Let's give them the information to.
Well, the United States is an interesting, like in terms of modesty and like everything that's happened with the United States. The United States went from being a relatively conservative country to flipping it on its head, and I think it's because America is a country and a group of people that you can't tell you can't do that. For example, in the 1920s, there was a huge temperance movement and there was a huge prohibition era, and they got it. Remember, we had a whole era where you weren't allowed to drink alcohol, you weren't allowed to do none of that. Why? Because people said it was degenerate, it was making society a degenerate. Right. And they try to ban pornography, all these different things.
But it still got out.
But exactly.
It was a black market.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Because, again, the United States, and this is why I firmly believe, like, what Oregon did, which was legalize all drugs, is how you go about it. Because this country is full of people that if you tell them no, just because you told them no, they want to do it. That's just how Americans are as a mentality. Like, just like the Japanese are very honor-based and, like, if they dishonor their family, they'll kill themselves. We don't do that shit here. We don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck about you. We do, but we don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very individualistic society that does not give a fuck about anybody else but themselves and their happiness and how they feel and, like, all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
So that's why. So people were like, okay, yeah, sounds like a good idea. But then they're like, well, man, this shit boring as fuck. I don't want to just be a Mormon. If I wanted to be a Mormon, I would be a Mormon. Right. So
I can be a Mormon a little bit, then I can do.
Exactly. So that's
I can do my little thug sizzle.
Is like, that's just the way the country is. Because, again, places like Japan, there are little kids between the ages of 5 to 6, 7, like very baby little kids who walk themselves, take the train by themselves, cook for themselves. no one steals them, no one abuses them. You know what I'm saying? It's like they go like they are on you. It's crazy to see them. It'll be just like they're little mini people, little mini adults, just making their
I
little
never
way.
knew that.
Yes, and nothing happens to those kids because it's Japan, because they're just how they are as people. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
But again,
see, I would have thought that was worldwide.
No. The United States is violent as fuck.
Oh, definitely.
Fuck for no reason. I'm telling you, Americans are
loud.
They're power, like we're weird. We're a weird group of people because we develop our country. Like this country itself doesn't have the same history as somewhere like Africa, as somewhere like India, as somewhere like Mexico, that has years and years of indigenous culture and ways of being with the land and understanding.
Right.
America is a brand new identity that's a hodgepodge of people that were either stolen from their country and tossed into a new one, or overtaken and forced to give a new identity, or forced over here because their country was at war. So it's just a bunch of people who are trying to figure out what they want to do with this piece of land. And that's why everyone's so entitled to it. It's like, well, I'm fucking here too.
But it's so much of it, we don't use a lot of it. That's the
well, yeah, to be fair, a lot of it is probably inhabitable. I used to think oh, the Midwest, like it's boring stuff. I guess that's why people don't live out there. But there's also because of tornadoes. Like those things actually happen. Those things actually level places. Like that shit is like not a joke. I'm like, okay, so there are parts of the United States we just shouldn't dwell in. Kind of like the Amazon. We just don't live in the Amazon. And there's a reason for that.
That's true.
Same thing. Florida population only boomed post like air conditioning and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Because back then they're like, bitch, who the fuck want to live in the swamp? It's fucking hot as hell. It's disgusting. Why would you do that when you can live in California? That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Because the weather's much better over there.
That's a good point. But getting back to what we were talking about sexuality and kind of the red pill thing. Now, what were you saying again? You said that we were talking about. You think a lot of red pill men are gay, and they secretly don't want to say that they're gay, so they. But
I think they're secretly gay, but I don't think in the way that everyone is thinking, because they think, oh, you think that they want to fuck a man. No, actually, quite the opposite. I think you can be visually attracted to someone and physically attracted to someone, or you could just want gratification. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Again, the example with the prison, right? There's men who go in there have never touched a dick or an ass before, and all of a sudden they'll do it when in there, and then they won't do it again when they leave. But then why did you do it there? You know what I'm saying? Unless you really don't give a fuck, you just want to fuck.
Right. And there's some people like that.
No, that's how that's exactly how the red pill men are, because that's why they can't stay monogamous. And you know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to be satisfied with a woman. They just never are. I don't think they truly know it, but they don't like women either. Like they're sitting in these podcast rooms for hours on end with other men, and they're just talking about how much they hate women, or how much women ain't shit, or how a woman should be to a man. And you're sitting there in a room full of men talking to a bunch of men, nodding your head going like, oh yeah man, yeah dude, you're so right on that, yeah bro, oh my god, yeah, no, yeah dude, these bitches, am I right? Yeah dude, guys aren't even like that, like we're so chill, like you gay. That's why you're having such a dandy sandy time.
Yeah, that's why we can agree on everything.
But
you think they don't know what that is?
I don't think that, and I don't think they're gay as in like they'll fall in love with a man gay either. I think
they just physically attracted.
They're physically attracted to women. I think they're physically attracted to women, and they fuck women, but I don't think they actually like women. I don't think they like what a feminine woman is, like a true woman, because they are not capable of being with a real woman, because a real woman will hold you accountable for your bullshit. This is bullshit. You coming out here and preaching and hollering like a fucking little dog. What grown-ass man do you see? An actual OG grown-ass man talking and with a bunch of little hoes in a circle. That's a knitting circle. You don't see that shit because men who have real power, men who have that masculine, divine masculine energy, they're not out here they're not doing all this shit, dude. They're really not.
You're right.
You know where they are? At home with their wives.
Pretty much.
Having a dandy peaceful time because that woman is not stressing him out.
I don't know about peaceful, but you have, yeah. I mean, not all the way peaceful, but I get what you're saying. But you just with your lady. Mm-hmm. You can deal with the ups and the downs.
That's the thing. It's like if you have an actual healthy relationship between a feminine and a masculine, right? Someone who is in that dynamic, everything should be easier for the both of you.
Right.
Meaning, as a man, all the things that you cannot get for yourself, she provides.
What would you think those things would be?
I mean, at the end of the day, I think humans, we're all social creatures, so we all, at the end of the day, need companionship. None of it, like, that's part of the reason why solitary confinement is so bad, and it does so much damage on prisoners. Because when you lock people away and you don't let them talk to anybody for long periods of time, they change. They're not normal anymore. It affects them really badly. I think that as human beings, we need closeness, we need connection, we need community, or we will be miserable anyways. Even if you have every dollar bill you wanted in the world, at some point it would be boring to do it all by yourself. You would want to share it in one way or another. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's by having a kid, whether it's by having a friend, anything. You know what I'm saying?
Just some type of contact, some connection. Yeah, I think what you're saying.
And I think that when two people complement each other in that way perfectly, it's like you have someone else you can rely on. Because at the end of the day, it's always been us, right? It's always like, you have to take care of you. You have to take care of you. You have to take care of you.
Right.
But maybe one day there is someone who can take care of you too. You know, that doesn't mean you stop taking care of yourself or they stop taking care of themselves.
It's almost a safety net.
Exactly.
For both of you.
Exactly. And that is only garnered by trust and understanding and like just so many different things, you know? Which a lot of people don't have, right? Which a lot of people don't have the patience to, nor the self-awareness to be able to get to that point. Some people are super superficial. Like, they won't talk to a woman just because she looks like this, or a woman too. Oh, I won't talk to him because he don't make money, or da da da. You get what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Like, all of that shit, all of these weird little standards, all these little things that you guys are doing, moving around, is fucking up what real love is, which is falling in love with a person.
I think the problem is
it's not
both
falling in
sides.
love with the physical. It's not being in love
it's
with
the vulnerability.
Exactly.
People don't want to be vulnerable, and maybe social media has made it to where you can't be vulnerable. So
you can't, because someone somewhere is an op who's going to use it against you over some stupid shit, bro.
Just say an op.
No, because look at this.
No, you absolutely right. You're right.
And it's kind of like what happened right now with fucking Drake, how he posted, because Rick Ross said, "Man, you white." And Drake got all upset about it, like, motherfucker ain't half white, right? He get upset that he called white motherfucker, get mad he get called white. Anyways,
right.
Texts his mama, his Jewish white mama. And his mama says, he's just a racist. And he posts that shit on his gram.
Wow.
And you know what Rick Ross does?
Whoa.
I
didn't hear this.
On the gram, and he goes, man, go get your mommy. You know, like, absolutely posting the shit up. But this is what I mean. You can't do nothing on social media.
But that was a dumb move, though.
That was, first of all,
that was a dumb move.
First of all, the only thing Drake has going against himself is that he is Drake.
Yeah.
That he was Jimmy from DeGrasse.
Yeah, that's what's going to kill him.
He comes from a suburb in Canada.
Yeah.
Like, you get like,
he kind of Eminem.
He is corny. He is corny. He kind of Eminem. He started on the Disney Channel. He is corny to the core. And that is not something that he cannot evade that. That's at the end of the day why he even feels some type of way about this.
But you know what, though? I don't think,
because Future and Kendrick all do come from that actual type.
You know what,
shit.
though? I don't think, a part of me used to think that it didn't bother him, though. Like, I think he knew what.
He leaned into it at the beginning. That's why Old Drake is so good. You know,
yeah,
like
the first two albums.
Like when he
was first two albums, man.
When he was just that little, you know, that
I think he embraced it more so.
Boy,
like it was just him. Like, I didn't come from that.
Exactly.
I didn't come from that.
For real, like the hardest thing that's ever happened to you is that your heart broke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but he had bars though. That's what he should have. He should have been like, yo, this is what I do. I ain't hard, really hard, but on this mic.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Drake's only fault is that he is Drake. Like, at the end of the day, motherfucker corny as hell. Why the fuck you text your mama? Why the fuck you post that you text your mama? Why the fuck your mama say that man is a racist?
How is he a racist?
That's how your white Jewish mama tell Rick Ross of all motherfuckers, Rick Ross, that he is racist. What do you mean? Rick Ross, I don't think, has once catered to a single white person. I don't think this man has ever once.
Look, maybe Tom Ford, no, but not catered to him. But he shouted him out. But that wasn't. That's.
I was about to say.
Yeah,
I
that ain't that
meant in
big.
terms of his music.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like Drake has many a times made music for the white folk. Passion fruit, not a single colored person listens to. I promise you.
Yeah.
I promise you. That was not for us. Okay. But that's what I mean. It's like, Drake, you can just own that. It's okay. You can make music for the white people. You are white people. You understand? It is
Right.
okay.
Right.
You are an Oreo, and it is okay.
Right.
And you just need to accept that and embrace it instead of trying to be this dude. And then on top of it, Rick Ross say, "Shut up," and yo BBL, and you BBL, and your nose job. Because he's right. Most people got a nose job and BBL.
Did it?
The BBL rumors have been going on for a long time, but for sure the nose job. Look at the pictures of him.
That's a body thing.
Yeah, that's why he's wearing those suits, they say. Because he doesn't show off like his stomach, because you can hella tell when someone gets like because the abs look different.
Right.
Like when you do it, like it can. That's why these OnlyFans models look like that, because like they all get that thing there.
See,
and that's why Drake doesn't show his like stuff anymore.
I couldn't see me doing that, especially if I'm at the top like that. Why would I need to?
Because Drake is insecure, obviously, at his core. That's why he got a nose job and all that shit. Because he's corny. Because the hardest thing Drake has ever gone through was that one bitch that dumped him in fucking junior high, and he will never forget about it. And then he got famous, and he thought it wouldn't happen again. Wrong. Motherfucker done have 42 rings to propose to 42 other women. All of them said no.
Really?
Must be wrong with you, bro. Must be wrong with you, because how the fuck you, Drake, make all this money, supposedly buy rings for 42 bitches, and you still ain't got no bitches?
That's a bar right there. That's a Drake bar. That was a Drake bar right there.
Like, pull a Drake on Drake. And hit him with the, boy, go back to make me take care.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
Nah, but seriously, Drake is like, this whole situation with him is funny to me. It's just funny, because there's no way anyone is better than Kendrick Lamar, like in terms of actual rap. No. Because people can, like, just like he said in his diss, which I think just like buried Drake, and it should just be the end of it all, where he said, Prince outlived Mike Jack. Okay? That was the bar that he said. And why this is so important is because Drake has always compared himself to Michael Jackson in terms of like the big next pop star, right? But if you actually look at back then, MJ versus Prince,
right.
Who is the real artist? Who is the real person with actual talent?
They both were.
No.
I dig what you're saying. Prince made his own music, wrote his own instruments.
Exactly. Like, no.
He knew how to play multiple instruments.
And
yeah. I get what you. He was more artistic,
his talent was one in like a billion. You get what I'm saying? And not that Michael Jackson's wasn't, but there's a huge difference.
Yeah, he was. He was more. Indeed, was more. But Mike did a lot of shit behind the scenes too.
No, for sure. Don't get me wrong.
But Prince was better behind the scenes. No, he did. Come on. No, I'll say that.
I don't know, bro. I don't trust all of Hollywood at all.
Yeah, but no, not MJ. Nah, not MJ, man. And you know how I know? The white dude, Sean Carter. Aaron Carter's brother. Is it Aaron Carter?
Or is that the...
Which is the youngest one?
I think so.
Aaron Carter. But
yeah.
he was cool with Michael Jackson. He said, man, Michael Jackson wanted women. When I was around him, that's all he did was look at women. And then it's this one like
well, so was Prince.
No, but yeah.
Like I said, sexuality, David Bowie too. Like, okay, like there's plenty, like Freddie Mercury. There's plenty of artists who were.
We were talking about that sexuality,
but they had women that they loved because they loved women. You understand? Like
right,
they weren't with a man; they were with a woman.
Right.
They fucked men, but they were with a woman because they fall in love with a woman.
So you think it's just some people who are almost in a sense insatiable and will hump a hole?
Yes.
As long as it's got a pulse.
Yes.
Yeah, I could concur with that.
Yes, I agree. I think that people have varying levels of impulse control, which is why I think that these red pill men are just happen to be on the lower end of that, but they have poor impulse control. I'm sure that if we did a bunch of brain scans on them, we'd be able to see. No.
That would be interesting.
No, I'm being so fucking real, because when you compare the brain scans of a Republican and a Democrat, and to preface, I'm neither, okay? I think both the parties are fucking dumb as fuck. But if you compare brain scans of registered voters who are registered as Republican versus registered as Democrat, if are available, right? The Republicans have in common a larger amygdala, like this. It's an amygdala, and what that controls is essentially the flight response.
Fear, yeah.
So they're easily mongered by fear, which
Right.
you can see in like Donald Trump's followers and in a lot of far right ideologies, right?
Right.
Likewise, you see this in the like Democratic is a larger portion in the I forgot it's on the front part of the brain. I forgot the exact name of it, but it has to do with compassion. So that explains why there's such fucking snowflakes sometimes, because most of us just big crybabies for real.
Sometimes.
And that's why there's also a huge emphasis on social factors for liberals, because again, there is a larger space for compassion versus for them it's a larger space of fight or flight. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So I assume that they fall under that same category, these red pill men, but where they would be affected in would be in like impulse control, kind of like Aaron Hernandez, who was the football player who got hit so many times in the head that he was just super violent and all that stuff and completely lacked in impulse control. I think that people who have that ideology are like, oh, I'm a man. I just can't help it. Like, if there's a bitch there, I gotta fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not okay. Like, I'm sorry for you, if that makes sense. Like, you just kind of sound like a slave to yourself, if that makes sense. Like, you have no discipline of yourself. Must be horrible. I can't imagine. It must be like being an addict, right, to like nicotine. Like, oh my god, I can't not smoke today. I'm gonna tweet.
Right.
And that's how they are with fucking though. So I think it's a mental. It has to be some kind of addiction, right?
Definitely.
Processing.
Women are very addicted, though.
No, I mean completely understandable.
Yeah,
But,
you got to control yourself.
Exactly.
You have to, especially nowadays.
Discipline. It's like just like any other, just like these dudes who are like, well, I have a lot of discipline because I go to the gym. So if you can discipline your body that much, you can discipline your physicality.
Yeah, your mind. It's really your lust, your mind.
Exactly.
But hey, you know, it's because I see beautiful women every day, and I'm like, man, like I can think it, but I just think it.
I think that. I think that's something again that varies with people too, because I noticed that everyone is different. I hate that people don't understand that there is no human like. You can't be like, this is the human. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is the standard, right? You gotta be this way. Like,
it's always gonna be
happiness has to be felt exactly like this, and sadness has to be expressed exactly like this. And like, there is nothing like that. So for us to be like, well, women have to do this, and men have to do this, and have to do this. No, first of all, you have no idea how people's minds work, or how they feel, or what they want to do in this life, and that's nothing to you. All we need to do is agree on a general enough consensus so we're not killing each other when we walk outside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
There's way too much over control in that, and that's what I think is the problem with both like the red pill girls and men, right? The red pill girls are I don't need a man other than for him to pay for my shit, and if you don't pay for my shit, I don't care about you, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, very overly materialistic, but hiding it as, well, I'm a woman and I should be provided for. So it's not actually me being materialistic. I'm like securing my needs. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, that's some bullshit. Like, please. It's kind of the same thing with like the women who are like, oh, I empower myself by showing my titties to men. Like, yes, you're doing so good, honey. $5, so much worth. You are definitely not cheapening women as we speak. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
Because I feel like men have the audacity that they do because they have the illusion of choice.
That all women,
they think that, oh, well,
if
fuck
you don't
do
it,
because
the next
that other hoe will. Exactly, and they're right. And you are that other hoe. And you are that other hoe. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you are fucking, the whole thing is fucked up.
The whole thing is, say everything. Everything. Everything.
Yeah, you're telling me, dude, I'm literally like in the age where you're like the dating pool, right? Like what, 26? This is like my, like what the red pill men would say, my drop off.
Right,
like from here on
when
out.
you be in a prime, well, you're starting to fall off. I get what you're saying.
You know,
you hit your peak.
Right, exactly.
You hit the zenith, and now it's all downhill.
Exactly.
It's just going to get faster and faster.
Exactly. According to these red pill men, that my value is going to diminish exponentially with every year that I gained after this. You know what I'm saying? But
I never understood that. Maybe because
after a certain point, women become a person instead of your girlfriend or your partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why older women are harder.
But you can learn so much. from older women. I've learned so much from older women about women.
Exactly, but that's because you are a man who is capable of handling that type of woman, because that type of woman is not going to deal with your BS like a little 19-year-old girl will. That woman is going to hold you accountable. That woman is going to have goals because she's older. It's not going to be casual, stupid shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Unless she says it is.
Yeah, I know.
And then when she says it is, that's all you're getting.
That's all you get.
That's it.
But that's
what I'm telling you.
Some dudes, that's why I don't understand why younger dudes.
They need younger women because they are not experienced enough. They're not.
But you get that experience from those older women.
Right. Well, tell this to these little men that are saying that you have to be 17, 18, 19, 20, after 22, it's questionable type. That's what these red pill men are saying.
That's crazy. The older I get, the less I want my girl to be younger than me. Maybe 10 years. But even that's too much. Hold on, let's see. You don't come right back. Because I wonder if.
No, because it's true. Like, I don't know. Everything is extremely fucked up. I don't know.